meeting to order. If the city clerk would please take roll.
Yes. Bill Koecki.
Here.
Weezy Michael.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Celine.
Here.
Danielle Trumbull.
Here.
Dave Harshbarger. Brian Butcher.
Here.
Mayor Abu Ghanem.
Present. Thank you. Before we get to the approval of the minutes, just because it is a bit time sensitive, for those that are interested right now in the Morgantown Public Library until 7:30 this evening, they're hosting a name change clinic. Just wanted to make that quick announcement. And now as we move on. Approval of minutes. We have March 19th, 2025. Special meeting minutes, March 19th, 2025. Regular meeting minutes, March 25th, 2025. Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. And the March 25th, 2025 special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion, or do we need any changes first off?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
By acclamation. All right. And correspondence. Let me grab this. The first correspondence tonight, we have the Service League proclamation, and that is with Laura Savio and the co-historian Donna Tennant, President Ira Smith, Vice President Cookie Schultz, and co-historian. My commas were completely wrong. Let me start this again. Laura Savio is the co-historian, Donna Tennant, President, Ira Smith, Vice President, and Cookie Schultz, co-historian. Are you here? Yes. And if you'd like to come up to the podium, we'll read this proclamation for you. Find where is this one? Ready in order? Yes. All right.
We know how to read. I didn't bring my glasses.
Let me empty out my pockets. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you all for coming. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Donna Tennant.
Nice to meet you. All right, so this is Brad, our communications director, and he is going to be taking our picture as we read through this proclamation. And if you look right behind you, up top is our camera right here, and that is where the internet is watching us live and in living color. And if I can, I'm sorry if I can scoot you just a little over so the microphone can hear this wonderful proclamation that I'm going to be reading out loud. And you all are welcome to face me. I was just gonna slide you right here. Just a little more, and then turn. Keep turning till you see me. Keep coming. Thank you. Perfect. All right. Whereas the Service League has maintained the historic Old Stone House built circa 1795 and placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1972 since 1935, and whereas through the volunteer efforts of its members, the Service League has operated the Old Stone House as a gift shop and used bookshop since inception. During the early years of the League's operation, a tea shop was located in the parlor, and until 2008, a thrift shop was operated on its premises. And whereas proceeds generated from sales are used to assist organizations and citizens in our community, currently 10%, or at least $400 weekly, are donated to our charity partners. And whereas contributions to our community include support for children enrolled through Monongalia County Head Start programs, the Service League collects coats, boots, and winter apparel as a part of the Children's Service Initiative. And whereas they provide funding and hands-on assistance for bingo parties, Shelley Marshall teas, and presents for patients at Christmas time for the residents at Sundale Nursing Home. And whereas since 1935, the volunteer efforts have included support for a well baby clinic, sponsorship of theater performances for school children, support for Morgantown Public Library programs, CASA for Kids, the RDVIC wish list, Girls on the Run, and Christian Help. Members also support the Walk 10 Alzheimer's funding and hands-on assistance for Stepping Stone's very special arts festival, and more. Now therefore, I, Joe Abogano, Mayor of the City of Morgantown, West Virginia, do proclaim 2025 as the 90th founding of the Service League in the city of Morgantown, let us celebrate the mission of this organization and what it has done for the community by giving back to others. And then I will take a quick picture, and if one of you would be so kind as to tell us all about it. After the photo.
Donna, you're the president.
Well, first let's take our picture, and then that way I can sit down and you all can tell us about it.
1, 2, 3. Great.
And if
Thank
one
you.
of you wants to hold it, hold on, Brad, one more.
Sure. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Donna, you want to say a few words about it?
Should I go this way?
Now you can look this way.
Okay. The Service League of Morgantown owns and operates the Old Stone House, which we're very, very proud of to be able to display our gift shop. We try to have as many things in the gift shop as we can that were made here in West Virginia. So we're very proud of that. The ladies at the Stone House are all volunteers. We work hard together to make sure that the money that we raise, we're able to do things for the community and to support the children, support the elderly, support just different projects here in Morgantown. We're very honored tonight to get this proclamation, and we're honored to be celebrating on Monday night our 90th anniversary. So it's just great to be here tonight. We thank you. You'll
Thank something else.
very much.
Thank you. And congratulations on 90 years. I just had the one. I have a printed one. Okay. Can you make this? Maybe there's another one in here. Let me check. Fair housing.
Don't break it.
Many. Just one. All right. And next we have the Municipal Voter Registration Day Proclamation. Are you the one that collects this one? All right. Do we go to the podium? Well, let's go to the podium. You've worked so hard on this. Let's go to your support. Nice to meet you. All right. Whereas National Voter Registration Day was observed in 2012, since then has been recognized annually on the fourth Tuesday of September to celebrate democracy and encourage people to participate in the democratic process. And whereas voting is a fundamental freedom that is enshrined in our Constitution. For many, it is a right that is accepted without question or concern. For others, it is a right that was gained through generations of struggle and persistent vigilance to ensure that it is not eroded or lost. Whereas Black Americans had to fight for the right to vote, the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified 151 years ago in 1870. And although it affirmed that Black Americans had the constitutional right to vote, in practice, enormous barriers to voting rights still persisted. Poll taxes, literacy tests, voter intimidation, and other means were used to deliberately deny Black Americans the right to vote, and challenges still remain. And whereas women also had to fight for the right to vote, decades of effort resulted in the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution 100 years ago, affirming that women had the right to vote. And whereas young adults between the ages of 18 and 21 bore the burden of service in the military and other requirements of citizenship before they had the right to vote when the 26th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified in 1971. And whereas, unfortunately, barriers to voting remain an issue in our nation, voter ID requirements, voter roll purges, the closure of polling places, inadequate access for some with disabilities, attempts to challenge and delegitimize voting by mail, disenfranchisement based on certain criminal records in some states, and other efforts that restrict access to the democratic process must be acknowledged and resolved. And whereas to vote in the upcoming election, a person must be a U.S. citizen, at least 18 years of age, and registered to vote in the city limits of Morgantown. Information about registration and other voting issues can be found at morgantownwv.gov or by calling the City of Morgantown Clerk's Office at 304-284-7434. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Abogano, Mayor of the City of Morgantown, West Virginia, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, April 7th, 2025, as Municipal Voter Registration Day in the City of Morgantown. I ask that all residents within the city limits of Morgantown make your voting plan. This means ensuring that you are accurately registered and committed to cast a ballot in the upcoming elections. And then, should I highlight the phone number?
We'll post it on social media.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Thank you for all of you. Sorry, I think I should just take all of these up there. And we have the AmeriCorps Week Proclamation with Melissa Calabrese. How do you say it? Calabrese. All right. Melissa Calabrese and Aaron Adams, as well as Ariana Burks. Aaron Adams, it is. We'll stop there. All right. Perfect. And welcome. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And if at any point you all are sick of hearing my voice and somebody else would like to. Whereas, more than 30 years ago, Congress established AmeriCorps, formerly the Corporation for National and Community Service, to unite national service programs under one agency, create service opportunities that strengthen communities, and expand pathways to educate, careers, and civic participation for those who serve. And whereas AmeriCorps is America's smart investment in local communities, where public dollars leverage private contributions to support locally led, data-driven solutions to urgent needs. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Senior programs provide opportunities for 200,000 Americans annually to serve their country through service at nonprofits, schools, public agencies, and community and faith-based organizations across the country. They also strengthen bridge building skills by bringing people together from different backgrounds, generations, and geographic locations to address critical issues facing the country, forge relationships, cultivate mutual respect, and help build resilient and thriving communities. And whereas national service represents a robust public-private partnership that invests in community solutions and leverages non-federal resources to strengthen community impact and increase the return on taxpayer dollars. And whereas volunteering prepares those members for future careers and improves the mental well-being of AmeriCorps seniors, volunteers, and their communities, to service reflects the dedication and patriotism of those who serve. And whereas, through their service, AmeriCorps members and seniors volunteers improve the lives of their families, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Morgantown and throughout West Virginia as a whole. And whereas AmeriCorps Week is an opportunity to recognize the dedication and commitment of the AmeriCorps members and volunteers, such as the WVU Extension Energy Express AmeriCorps members and WVU AmeriCorps Vista members, who serve each year the nearly 1.3 million AmeriCorps alumni, senior volunteers, and their community partners, as well as to encourage more Americans to follow their footsteps in service. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Abogano, Mayor of the City of Morgantown, West Virginia, and on behalf of the Morgantown City Council, do hereby proclaim April 13th through the 19th, 2025, as AmeriCorps Week in the City of Morgantown, and urge citizens to thank AmeriCorps members, alumni, and senior volunteers for their service and to find their own ways to give back to their communities. We'll begin. And if it's okay, who would like to?
Great. Together. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
And if you all will tell us a little bit about.
AmeriCorps is a program of civic volunteering across the United States, and as a proud AmeriCorps alum myself, I want to thank you very much for recognizing our program. Also, as a representative of the Community Center for Community Engagement and WVU Extension, I wanted to say thank you for supporting our AmeriCorps programs, including Energy Express, which is providing a summer learning and nutrition program for children all across West Virginia in 22 counties this year, giving them an opportunity to read, keep their learning going over the summer, and have a safe place to eat 2 meals. So, thank you.
Thank you all very much. Next we have, it is our Sexual Assault Awareness Month proclamation. Amaya Williams.
Mine wasn't able to make it, but mine was Kay.
Kay?
Yeah, Kay Pound.
Philip Hampshire. Nice to meet you. Who's here right here? Perfect. Whereas, Sexual Assault Awareness Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and has public health implications for every community member of Monongalia County. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment impact our community, as seen by statistics indicating that 1 of 5 women will have experienced sexual assault by the time they complete college, by Fisher, Collin, and Turner, 2000. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about what can be done to prevent sexual assault and how to support survivors. And whereas staff and volunteers of West Virginia sexual assault programs and other professionals have come together as the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information Services, WVFRIS, to support each other in their work and provide the state of West Virginia and its citizens with a central source of information on sexual assault. And whereas with leadership, dedication, and encouragement, there's compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in Monongalia County through prevention education, increased awareness, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center, RDVIC, strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners, and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual violence is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address sexual violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Bugano, Mayor of the City of Morgantown, West Virginia, and on behalf of the Morgantown City Council, join anti-sexual violence advocates and support service programs in the belief that all community members must be a part of the solution to end sexual violence. Along with the United States government and the state of West Virginia, the council does hereby proclaim April 2025 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the city of Morgantown and applauds the efforts of the many victim service providers, police officers, prosecutors, national and community organizations, and private sector supporters for their efforts in promoting awareness about sexual assault. And
One, two, three. Great. Thank you so much.
thank you, and if you please tell us a little bit about.
Well, like I said, I'm Kay Powney. I'm the prevention educator at RDVIC, which is the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center. We serve Mon, Taylor, Preston counties. And we serve victims of domestic violence, of sexual violence, and we serve secondary victims as well. So those are people who have been impacted. I think, what would I want to say? I think the most important thing to say is that violence of any kind is is a crime against a community. It erodes the trust that our community is built on, and it takes community action to fix that, to address it. And I've talked to a lot of victims of violence, and they just want to be believed. They want to be heard, and they want to be believed, and this is a step towards that. I think this is like a public recognition. I didn't say that correctly, but you know what I mean. Just public recognition. There we go. Public recognition of what they've been through, and just public support of them. And you don't know how much that will mean to, like, how much that means to survivors. I see it every day. It means a lot. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have the Fair Housing Month proclamation. And do we have an Annie Cronin-York? Our Human Rights Chair.
I have brought a little friend as well. This is Tim Harrison from the West Virginia Human Rights
Tim.
Commission.
It's very nice to meet you.
Very kindly attends all of our meetings.
All right. You're welcome. Let me fix this. There we go. Whereas, the Fair Housing Act enacted on April 11, 1968, enshrined into federal law the goal of eliminating racial segregation and ending housing discrimination in the United States. And whereas the Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, gender, familial status, national origin, and disability, and commits recipients of federal funding to affirmatively further fair housing in their communities. And whereas the City of Morgantown is committed to the mission and intent of Congress to provide fair and equal housing opportunities for all. And whereas our social fabric, economy, health, and environment are strengthened in diverse communities, and whereas more than 50 years after the passage of the Fair Housing Act, discrimination persists and many communities remain segregated. And whereas housing discrimination and barriers to equal housing opportunity are adverse to a common sense of decency and fairness. Now, therefore, I, Joe Abagana, Mayor of the City of Morgantown City Council, Monongalia County, West Virginia, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2025 as Fair Housing Month. In the City of Morgantown, as a community committed to fair housing and promoting appropriate activities by private and public entities to provide and advocate for equal housing opportunities for all residents and prospective residents of the City of Morgantown, and thank the City of Morgantown Human Rights Commission for its dedication to our community and commitment to ensuring fairness and equality among our citizens. In witness, therefore, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Morgantown, West Virginia, to be affixed the first day of April 2025.
This is an April Fool's thing.
Not a
Just check.
That's the only problem with proclamations on April 1st.
One, two, three. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Annie?
Well, I'd like to have Tim add a few words because he knows more about this than I do.
Here, I'm going to adjust that. There we go. Tim, please.
Thank you. My name is Tim Harrison. I have been on the State Human Rights Commission since October of 2006. I'm also the vice chair, which I've been on since July of 2008. What I'd like to say is this is probably one of the very best, and I think it is the best Human Rights Commission in the state of West Virginia as far as cities are concerned. I'm its greatest cheerleader. I was on the original Human Rights Commission that started in 2001, the Community Coalitions for Social Justice, helped get that started. I was at the last 3 meetings of the original iteration. I was the only one there, excuse me. And I'm very glad that this one got started again in 2012. This is the most active one in the state, such that last year we had, this is Fair Housing Month nationally. Last year, we had the Fair Housing, once a year, we have to go out, and during Fair Housing Month, we have to do a program. It was here last year. It's also going to be here this year, because this is the most active council in the state, or commission in the state. It's on April 17th. It'll be, I think, at the Marriott one, and everybody is cordially invited. This is a great service to the community, and I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all backing us and helping us stay active, and also just thank you. I didn't have anything prepared, and he got me when I walked through the door. But and I also have a prior commitment in Clarksburg, so I'm going to go. Thank y'all very much, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate this council. You guys have done a great job. Please stay with this council. This is the best one in the state. Thank you.
Thank you.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. April is full of all sorts of human rights commemorations and civil commemorations. We've already done Palestinian American recognition and fair housing and sexual assault awareness proclamations. And there's Earth Month is April, and month for military children, and Child Abuse Prevention Month. We're going to do a proclamation for that, but, you know, National Minority Health Awareness, and Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. That is 1/10 probably of the commemorations that are on the observances calendar. So active is, April is a big month for human rights issues. And thank you for doing all these proclamations. I can't imagine you're having a great time doing it. I did not see you take a drink between those, so good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And while I appreciate the acknowledgement of Palestinian American, it's Middle Eastern American Month. I don't want to take away from everybody else. Now we are on to our, thank you, appreciate that, Brad. Now we're on to our public hearings. We don't have any. That's a first. Unfinished business, boards and commissions. Nope, all right. And here we are. On to the public portion, which shall be subject to rules established by council and adopted by resolution. And before I gavel the open, thank you and welcome back to our Assistant City Manager, Ms. Emily Mazzarelli. All right, now I will gavel in the opening of our public portion. First on the list, this is a new person, Annie Cronin-Yorick of the Human Rights Commission.
As for the Housing Fairness Month, affordable housing is a national crisis. It's a crisis in Morgantown as well. There is hardly any housing to be had, and what there is very expensive. As you know, some of you I'm personally familiar with. I don't have any great solutions to offer, but please, let's work harder to get more affordable housing. Our people deserve it. And keep ourselves ranked highly as a welcoming city. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Ms. Marty Schamberger.
Good evening, Council. Marty Schamberger, 812 Ridgeway Avenue, Morgantown. I come to you tonight to ask your consideration on two items. I understand that the process for the city manager has begun. I believe the process for our chief executive should be transparent. In the past, the community has had an opportunity to meet the final candidates via a reception. This gave the candidates an opportunity to meet members of the community and also for members of the community to give feedback to council. So I hope you'll consider that. My other item is, I believe it's been 1 year since the POTA ordinance was enacted. And my questions are, what has the economic impact of POTA been? And has there been any impact on city services? Again, I thank you for your service. Thank you.
And that is all the names on our list. If there's anyone wishing to speak? All right. Then I will close this public portion. We have no special committee reports, no consent agendas. On to new business. First, we have the consideration of approval of a first reading of an ordinance authorizing the memorandum of agreement with the Monongalia Historical Society, Inc. And
thank you, Mayor. This document, as presented at your last meeting, both by our Cultural Arts Department and History Museum Manager particularly, and the Historical Society, would provide for the transfer of ownership of the Eastern Roller Mill property to the city to continue operation of that historic structure, and also potentially use the property as an event space, along with the transfer of related assets of the Historical Society to the City of Morgantown to assist with the continued operation of that property.
thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
No discussion?
No, I have a question.
Oh.
At Committee of the Whole, was that last week? Yeah. We asked about the opportunity for future annexation of this property. I know it said we would have to look into it. Have we looked to see if that is going to be a possibility, or?
We have looked into that. We haven't worked with any other parties that would be involved in that, either by an annexation method that would include a connecting roadway or include other connecting properties. I think it's likely that that coordinating with other property owners would be required to annex this property into the city.
So you don't think annexing along a roadway is going to be possible?
Well, annexing along a roadway would be possible.
Oh, okay.
Just that it would involve cooperation with at least the Division of Highways in that instance.
I just wanted to make comments in support of this. It seems like many of our historic assets are either kind of covered up or not protected, and this is one that comes in a nice package with lots of interpretive assets and even some funds to keep it going, and enough property that there can be events held there. And so I think it would be a useful property, and seems as though those who are operating the museum are interested in it, and so I would, as one vote, support this.
I agree. Any more discussion?
Call for the question. Yes.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Celine,
Yes?
Danielle Trumbull,
Yes.
Brian Butcher,
Yes.
Mayor Abu-Ghanem.
Yes. Passes 6-0. Next, we have the consideration of approval of a resolution approving the 2025-2026 budget for the City of Morgantown's Municipal Airport Fund, Municipal Sales and Use Tax Fund, Opioid Settlement Fund, Arts and Culture Development Fund, Met Theater Fund, and the Hazel Ruby McQueen Park Fund. And I look to Mr. John Ferguson.
Thank you, Mayor. John Ferguson, Finance Director for the City of Morgantown. It's my pleasure to present to you the budgets for there's a lot of them. Municipal Airport Fund, the Municipal Sales Tax Fund, the Opiate Settlement Fund, Arts and Culture Development Fund, Met Theater Fund, and the Hazel Ruby McQueen Fund. Did I get them all? Perfect.
Hold on, I'm checking.
Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Awesome, thank you,
All
sir. These proposed budgets reflect our unwavering commitment to fiscal responsibility and strategic investments into our community's well-being. And a special thanks to Emily, just so that she doesn't think that I forgot her. She probably saw on one of them where I was called out for forgetting, allegedly, but thank you for everything that you do. Now I'm going to make this very quick. If you want detail, just slow me down. Municipal Airport Fund, projected municipal airport revenues are a grand total of $5,494,240. Corresponding projected municipal airport fund expenditures are a grand total of $5,494,240. Do you need more detail than that? Okay. Next, we have the Municipal Sales Tax Fund with projected municipal sales tax fund revenues of $9,039,036. Corresponding projected municipal sales tax fund expenditures for a grand total of $9,039,036. For the Opiate Settlement Fund, we have a total budgeted revenues of $121,695 with corresponding expenditures of $121,695. We have the Arts and Culture Development Fund with total budgeted revenues of a grand total of $526,828 with corresponding expenditures of $526,828. We have the Met Theater Fund with total budgeted revenues of a grand total of $200,596, corresponding expenditures of $200,596, and finally the Hazel Ruby McQueen Park Fund, total budgeted revenues, grand total of $670,000, with corresponding expenditures of $670,000. Any questions on any of those funds? And I know I didn't go into a whole lot of detail. I'm not saying that they are minor funds. They are very important funds. But we've beaten this budget to death.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
You did it again. Great job, John.
Getting right to it.
Bill Koecki?
Yeah.
Weezy Michael?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Celine?
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull?
Yes.
Brian Butcher?
Yes.
Mayor Abu Ghanem?
Yes, passes 6-0. Next, we have consideration of approval of a resolution authorizing the establishment of a municipal identification card program. Do I look to Brad or Ryan? Which one of you? Probably.
Brad Riffey, our Communications Director, detailed this program, which he really has taken the lead on developing along with our Acting City Manager, Damian Davis. This resolution before council authorizes the city manager to implement a municipal identification card program substantially on the terms that Mr. Riffey had described to council at its committee of the whole meeting, and directs the city manager to bring back before council any items that would require council action in implementing that program, such as anything that council would mandate by ordinance in connection with the program. And of course, any budgetary measure would have to come before council if that is required.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second. All right, and there was no questions. I just want to add thank you all for all the work that you put into this, truly.
It might help just simply to give some clarification as to what the next step will be after this acceptance, assuming it's accepted.
Sure. Bring up our Communications Director, Mr. Brad Riffey.
Good evening. My name is Brad Riffey. I'm the PR and Communications Director for the City of Morgantown. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. Next steps would be to identify who would implement the program, who would issue municipal IDs, maybe which department specifically. Look forward to having that conversation with administration. We need to iron out those details. We also need to take a look at the proof of identity requirements, just to make sure that we have all of the options that we would like to include on the form and options that we definitely should require. And then also make sure that we pin down exactly the costs, and we're almost certain, right? I don't want to commit to any specific number, but from the research that we've been able to conduct, we're looking at hardware and software that's roughly under $2,000. That would be a one-time cost, hopefully for 5 to 10 years. And then again, we would need to consider the fee, a possible fee or price for the municipal ID. So those are some of the things that we would take a look at right away, and then also building those partnerships within the community, right? Begin to reach out to organizations and entities who would participate. So that's where those would be a few of the next steps.
To summarize then, what we're suggesting is that we're giving, with this, we are allowing this to move forward for implementation, ironing out all the problems and moving it forward, but it will come back to us as it progresses.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good clarification.
Have a great evening.
I was going to ask you a question real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. In terms of those, the extra, I saw some of the extra ways that people could obtain proof of identity and proof of address were added on there, but are you just considering the rest of them? Obviously, this isn't a finished document or anything, right? Yeah, right.
Sure. I think there's some there are some options that we haven't considered yet.
Yeah.
So we would like to explore those as well.
Okay.
And I think we'll be able to do that with administration, with the help of council, just to make sure that, this is also there's a secure path to obtaining this ID as well.
The other question, in terms of producing the IDs, is that equipment portable at all?
So that's a great question. It was actually one of the questions I asked the hardware provider. So there are multiple licenses for the software, so it can be installed and it can only be used or switched 5 times. So if you had it on one device, you could only move it 5 times. But if we put it on a mobile unit, we can take that laptop, for example, with us. We can log the info, and then we can return to the station and print. We could move the printer, but to move the printer might be cumbersome. So I think there is, a path to sign folks up or record information not remotely, but if you're using the mobile unit, let's say if we went across town and we had some sort of municipal ID fair, we could enroll folks, verify their documents, and then issue and actually print the IDs in-house. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
It does. One of the things that when WVU Medicine when I talked to them about their kind of implementation of a mobile unit it's like a mobile health clinic. I had talked to them about this idea, and so having that available there as well, I think it'd be cool.
It would. Yeah, we can meet people where they're at, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking of neighborhood council meetings, association meetings, things like that. It would be a wonderful thing for us to use to engage our community.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So then to follow up on that, is that the type of an ID that would take some time for verification before it would be issued? Or is it the type of thing that someone, if they were near where the printer was, that it would be immediately issued?
Depending on how we schedule applicants, if you have all of the documentation you need and you have the application filled out and it's verified and your documents are verified, it takes about 30 seconds to print that ID. So it would be you would be able to obtain one fairly quickly. we average maybe and these are all estimates, maybe verifying the identification, printing 2 to 5 minutes per person. We also want to provide a customer service. We want to build in some customer service as well. It's not like, hey, thanks, woo, here's your ID. So, but yes, it should be fairly quick.
And then the fee could be waived if someone had proof of eligibility that they
Sure.
had to be waived.
Sure, and there are all kinds of different situations for that, elderly, and we can explore those options.
Thank you.
Unhoused, you're welcome. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. It sounds like it's being well considered.
Well, thank
That's
you.
encouraging.
Thanks, Brad.
You'll have a great evening. Appreciate it.
Bill Koecki?
Yes.
Weezy Michael?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Celine?
Yes?
Danielle Trumbull?
Yes.
Brian Butcher?
Yes.
Mayor Abu-Ghanem? Yes. Passes 6-0. Next, we have, sorry, I'm trying to find the letter to read. A consideration of approval of a resolution supporting a letter from the Morgantown Sister Cities Commission in opposition to legislation restricting Chinese student visas. Do I have a copy of the letter in here, Christine?
Should have been in the
Otherwise,
packet. I sent electronically.
Otherwise, I can open it up on my computer, no problem. I have it right here.
Seems like it should be on the end of the...
Emily,
Yeah, I was going to say,
huh?
do you just want my laptop?
Sure. If that's okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared enough. So the letter that is asked to be supported by council will be sent. Dear Representative, this is Honorable Riley Moore of Washington, D.C. Dear Representative Moore, we are writing on behalf of the Morgantown Sister Cities Commission to express our strong opposition to the legislation you're sponsoring that would ban students from China from studying in the United States. As a commission dedicated to fostering international understanding and cooperation, we believe this legislation would be harmful to our community, our educational institutions, and our nation's diplomatic interests. The Morgantown Sister Cities Commission has maintained a valued sister city relationship with Suzhou, China. Through this partnership, we have developed meaningful cultural exchanges and built bridges of understanding between our communities. Our commission's mission is to promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation, one individual, one community at a time. The proposed legislation fundamentally contradicts these principles. We understand the importance of addressing legitimate national security concerns. However, we firmly believe the broad, indiscriminate bans that target students based solely on their nationality, one, unfairly presume guilt by association, treating all Chinese students as potential spies without evidence. Two, undermine the academic freedom and diversity that are hallmarks of American higher education. Three, damage people-to-people relationships that serve as a foundation for long-term diplomatic goodwill. Four, harm the economic contributions that international students make to our local communities. Five, contradict America's tradition of openness and opportunity. West Virginia University and other educational institutions in our state benefit tremendously from the presence of international students, including those from China. These students contribute to groundbreaking research, enrich our campus environments with multifaceted perspectives, and support local economies. Further, these educational exchanges allow American values and ideas to spread globally when these students return to their home countries. The Sister Cities program, founded by President Eisenhower in 1956, was established with the belief that citizen diplomacy could reduce the likelihood of international conflicts. In Morgantown, we take this mission seriously. We have witnessed firsthand how person-to-person connections build mutual respect and understanding that transcend governmental tensions. We respectfully urge you to reconsider your support for this legislation and instead work toward more nuanced approaches to addressing security concerns, approaches that do not sacrifice our values of openness, fairness, and international cooperation. Our commission would welcome the opportunity to discuss this issue further and share our experiences with international exchange programs. We believe that by working together, we can find solutions that both protect our national interests and preserve our commitment to global engagement. Sincerely, Liz Finkel, the chair of the Morgantown Sister Cities Commission, Sarah Barnes, the vice chair of the Morgantown Sister City Commission, as well as the Morgantown City Council.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. And as a background, this is to support that letter to be sent. Any further discussion? Or anything I should touch base on?
I'd just like to express my appreciation to the Sister Cities Committee for bringing it to us, and also exercising the caution of not speaking for us, but rather asking if we agreed. And that's something I appreciate. The other thing I would comment on is that it's remarkable, the community that we have with the Chinese in this city that we've all experienced over a period of time, primarily, I think, through and with WVU. However, they are vital in this community. They've always been forthcoming and very helpful. They were particularly helpful, I think, to us during the pandemic, providing us with the masks that we didn't have at the time, and other things, too. That's just a small contribution to what they do. I'm more than happy that this is being sent, and I am disappointed with the congressman for even considering this kind of legislation. Personal comment.
I have a comment that we have had, for instance, in the state, a delegation go and visit our sister city in China, and we have had just a very person-to-person, as they are talking about in their letter, relationship with the students and student government, and the Chinese students, pardon me, in particular, and they're inviting us to functions and talking to us about different issues that have come up for them, issues with their students and making sure that their students felt comfortable here and were supported here, and when they had problems with some students not feeling supported, being willing to talk through how we as a community and the university can help. And all of those person-to-person and people from China coming here and visiting schools and talking about art and just every different thing. So between kind of trade mission issues, education issues, we've covered quite a bit with our partner city in China. And I am saddened that that is a possibility of not having Chinese students here. I think they're one of the largest groups on campus. And if there's some problem in particular, I would much rather that our government handle a problem in particular rather than an entire group. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Just to add on, I would say that I appreciate them taking the time to have written the letter and wrote it so well. And also point out that our communities are intertwined, very much so, more than people may realize. Whether it is, I have several coworkers that are here on a visa from China, work visa from China. So whether it's our students or people that are here on a work visa or members of our community that have officially made Morgantown their home, that's what we strive for. Anything? Okay.
Bill Koecki?
Yes.
Weezy Michael?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Celine?
Yes?
Danielle Trumbull?
Yes?
Brian Butcher?
Yes.
Mayor Abu Ghanem?
Yes. Passes 6-0. City managers report.
It's exciting that she's finally here again. One thing I want to talk about, kind of tie into Councilor Michael's report is cooperation with DOH last week, where we were able to make Spruce Street drivable, at least, for the time being. Working with DOH, our city provided crews and equipment, where the DOH provided the asphalt material for us to patch that road. And so it's good cooperation between the two entities, and it was good to be able to drive down that road without losing a tire, or drive down this in one lane. And that's all I have.
Report from the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. So, a reminder, we have an election coming up on April 29th. You will see signs coming up around popping up throughout the city. I believe the Public Works Department got the big banner up. Thank you, Mayor. Yep.
I'm supposed to talk in the mic for the camera to switch angle. Okay, there we go.
So, a big banner went across High Street today. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm anxious to see what it looks like. We are sharing the space with a couple other city groups, so thank you, Megan Dealey and your staff, for putting that up. Other banners will be going up next week at other locations to let folks know about early voting, which is April 16th through the 26th. Excluding Friday and Sunday. Folks should know that we are still accepting absentee ballot applications. And surveys will be going out when folks vote again, like we did last time. So look for that. If anyone has any questions about the elections, please call us, or you can see our email or our on our website at morgantownwv.gov. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And our city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Following up on Council's resolution this evening, I will work with the Communications Director on establishing program documents for the Municipal Identification Card program and bring it back to Council any Council action items. I'm also currently working with the Development Services Department on communication materials for the Land Reuse Agency's property donation program and outreach, and had an opportunity yesterday to do a site visit on the trail at the trail lighting project between Deckers Creek and the Marriott Hotel, which is concluding design, I think. Construction anticipated soon, dependent on funding. It is a state project, but it should be a really nice project for that area of town. That's all I have to report this evening.
Thank you. And council report. Let's start with Councilor Michaels.
Oh, you could have started with me? Oh, man.
And then,
Put me on the
you get to
spot.
choose right or left. So.
Okay. So a couple months ago, this council had a meeting with DOH and talked about, some of the issues that we have with the roads and maintaining areas in our city and county. So I came up with a plan, and I had a meeting with DOH, County Commissioner Tom Bloom, the mayors of Star City, Westover, Granville, and our city Public Works and Damien, and came up with a plan where we were going to do some volunteer work in collaboration with all these entities, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go. It took several months to plan this, but we did our first project this weekend, and we focused on the Star City side of the town, because to me that's a gateway into our hospitals, our university, our city, and that one was not in good shape. So we focused on the Coliseum down to exit 155, but this weekend we focused from the Coliseum to the Boulevard to the medium, from the sheets, the bottom of sheets, the second sheets. I really need to say thank you to these people, so if you'll bear with me. I want to thank Joe, Mayor Joe, for bringing out the Morgantown High School kids, and a big thank you to the Mayor of Star City and their council, two of their council members, Jen and Steve. And I want to thank Damien in particular for having your public works come out and work with our safety, make sure we were safe out there. And a big thank you again to Chief Reamer, MPD, and the state police was out there for looking after us and our safety. I want to also say thank you to Tom Bloom. Tom's been a real help with me in getting this coordination together. And he sent out, not only did the county donate money, they actually went out, they said to me, give us a list of what you need, and the county donated those items, so shovels, brooms, weed spray, etc. So I want to thank those employees that came out and picked up a lot of that garbage. And Mayor Doyle sent her garbage trucks out, and I got to tell you, it was a lot of garbage. So, and lastly, there's two others. WVU student governor, Councilor Trumbull, her husband, came out with, Damien, and thank you. And we had a lot of just city residents just show up, so that was a big thing. But the biggest thank you goes to the International Labor Union of North America, 379 out of Morgantown, and 616 out of Cumberland, Maryland. They brought 20 of their union members down. I was so grateful. It was pouring rain, and these men and women tackled the hardest part of this project. And we did the medium coming into off of exit 155. And I got to tell you, it was a lot. And it required 25, 30 barrels of dirt and debris. And we were facing traffic coming both angles at us. So it was dangerous, and it was raining. So very happy about that. And I just, altogether, we had around 60 to 700 bags of garbage and debris along just from the Coliseum to the bottom of Star City. And just a little bit further over the Star City Bridge to Sheets. So anyway, this is just a start. It was such a success, and I'm so happy that all the mayors are working with me, and this is a really good thing for our entire city, county, and our municipalities, so the garbage bags, etc. So, all right, I spoke a lot tonight, which is unusual, so I think I thanked everybody. I hope I didn't forget anybody.
Don't forget Coach Blanco and the track team.
I'm sorry, I did forget. Thank you. Coach Steve Blanco brought his track team as well on Sunday. So we had Mayor Joe and some of his students, as well as our WVU student government. So I think I got everything. This weekend we will be returning with the WVU student government and some more volunteers just for litter pickup. We will be doing 705 from the Sheets to the Suncrest Town Center, and we will be doing the rest of the boulevard from the Coliseum down, and I think that's what we're covering this weekend. And then after that, we're going to take a break. And then we'll get our next big project organized for the following month. And maybe a couple more cleanups in Sunnyside, and I think we were going to do University and Willie Avenue. So, and then I'll just make announcements when we do the other projects. All right, I'm sorry, I talked all.
All right.
Mr. Bill?
All right, so we're going all right?
I can't follow that. Congratulations. It's amazing what you put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves it. On a lighter note, I'm constantly impressed what we have in this city. I went to see the Morgantown dance presentation on Sunday, and it's remarkable the quality of the product that they produce. The talent that those people, the adults as well as the children, have, and the way the production values were just extraordinary. It was so enjoyable, but so encouraging to be sitting in a beautiful theater, the Metropolitan Theater, and see it done so well and so well received with such a large audience. So I'm really impressed with what we have here in this city, and encouraged that we should continue that kind of activity. And that's my report.
All right. Councilor Butcher.
For my report tonight, I just want to say I'm super appreciative that we've got the municipal IDs on the agenda. Thank you, Mayor, for that, and thank you, City Manager and Brad, who's no longer here, the ghost of Brad back there, for
He's still watching.
taking care of that and being so dedicated. More work to do, but very appreciative. Speaking of elections, I guess this Thursday, nobody had mentioned it yet, so this Thursday there's going to be a candidate forum at the Mountaineer Mall. I think it's the Lifelong Learning Center is what it's called, the area where that will be, so people are interested. That will be there at 6:30. I just want to mention too, and I talked about before the cameras were on, the House has introduced their budget bill. I asked our Neighborly's finance man, John Williams, for a little bit of a breakdown of what he sees in terms of his first impressions. So there's a $15 million cut to WVU, which is obviously concerning for us. They are also allocating in that same budget $7 million more to the Hope Scholarship. $40 million to colleges to offset PEIA costs. And Medicaid, he sees that Medicaid is extremely underfunded in this budget, and he would have to get more in depth on it to give me a better breakdown of that. But the legislature this year has been, if you have been watching, a circus. And it continues to be, the few things that they are getting out of there are very, very bad this year. So just hopeful that we can have better progress for the rest of the session, and if we can make our voices heard about the cuts to WVU, that'd be great. But that would conclude my report.
At least it's almost crossover day, and we
Wednesday.
will, tomorrow is the deadline to know exactly everything we have to deal with. As Councilor Butcher said, it's been brutal to municipalities in general, but Morgantown specifically. So definitely reach out to your legislators. It's, even if something's passed one side so far, it still has to go through the other. So pay attention to where it's been and where it's going, and reach out. I made a note when Councilor Kowecki was talking about the dance. I went last week and saw the Morgantown Theater Company production of Alice in Wonderland, which was also great. I missed the dance one this weekend, but yeah, and the new lighting looks great. Joe Kaler over there told me that these were the first productions with the new lighting systems, and it looks great. So definitely go and see a show at the Met Theater if you get the opportunity. I had the opportunity over the weekend, along with a couple of other council members and some city staff, to attend the Morgantown Fire Department promotion ceremony. Congratulations again to the new hires, the officers who were promoted, or firefighters who were promoted to officers, like captain, lieutenant, chief. And also, they recognized a few as the first firefighter and firefighter officer of the year. So congratulations to all of them. I did participate in Councilor Michael's very wet cleanup on Sunday. I definitely should have went Saturday morning instead of Sunday. We were quite wet, but you know, City Manager Davis there and his daughter and my husband and a friend and I did across from the Coliseum, and I think in about an hour and 45 minutes, the 5 of us picked up like 15 bags of trash in, good Lord, maybe 200 yards. It was not very far.
There's still a lot of work to do.
There's still, so plan ahead. There's still a ton of trash up there we did not get to in the pouring down rain.
That's where we're going to try. We're going to try to hit that this Saturday and Sunday.
Send me information.
Okay, I will.
Councilor Butcher mentioned the forum. I will say that Friday evening is First Friday for the Arts in downtown Morgantown from 6 to 9 p.m. Lots of downtown establishments host artists and performers. Definitely check that out if it's nice. I don't know what the weather looks like. If it's nice, grab a POTA and check those out. Sunday from 11 o'clock on will be the International Street Festival in downtown. It's a hard time to be international, as we already discussed. So go out and show them some support. They always have a lot of really great food from the international student organizations and our Sister Cities Commission and others. I think that's about it, other than I got a lot of complaints over the weekend, as I'm sure several of you did, about the restrooms at the amphitheater having been closed during the peak of the cherry blossoms, and just wanted to let people know that I did raise that question with administration, and that is something that we are working on getting open as soon as possible, and also hopefully council would support looking into how we can make those restrooms usable year-round. So I will continue working with administration on that. We'll see if this is the year.
So you all who are listening this evening have heard my accomplished colleagues talk about all of the things that they have been working on. I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate this city's role in our community, and all cities in West Virginia and the roles in their community, and how we don't try to go it alone. We are collaborating with, and we had a number of groups here tonight, the Service League, AmeriCorps, the From Within, working on voter registration, sexual assault awareness, and that group, and people working on fair housing. It's amazing the amount of topics that a city either handles or works with the collaborators on, and that includes working with state and federal government. And I just, in an election month, think it's really important to acknowledge the value of democracy in our country and our state, the value of collaboration, the value of the work that our employees and our council and our boards and commissions, citizen volunteers, and Councilor Michael's an example of what can happen when all of those groups collaborate. As an example of the use of government for good. We're all not perfect. Our entities aren't perfect, but are working on purpose to make our city better and our community better. The roles that government plays are numerous, and particularly local government, but also government, obviously, at the state and federal level. The roles that we play, the services that we provide, that really aren't provided, many of them aren't provided anywhere else. Having a road system, bridges, having some sidewalks and trails, safety, having a police and fire service, having a planning function so that we know where we're going as a community, how we serve and protect, as evidenced by the nice firefighter ceremony this weekend, beautify, promote, provide benefits to our business community, provide recreation benefits, water and sewer through MUB, parking, all the different things that a government does, and particularly cities do as the entity closest to where people live and work. It's amazing, and I just really would like to reflect on the value of cities, the value of counties, the value of local governments that serve the people that they live within, right next to. So anytime that people are kind of down on cities or think that somehow there's something about cities that merits disdain, I would say cities are kind of us, and that really when someone's denigrating a city, they're denigrating where they live or the nearest community to them. So I just am feeling positive about cities and wanting to appreciate them and all the people within who have. Sometimes I joke that the first few people that got together, when people were very first beginning, when they started congregating, that's how you help to raise kids and help to provide food and shelter for your fellow inhabitants of the earth. And here we are all these many years later, and I am hoping that we can regain the feeling that government is as helpful as it is, and work toward making it better and building on it. So, thank you. Those are my comments for this evening.
There is always a lot going on in Morgantown. As you all were talking, I remembered stuff I was supposed to announce, and then as you continued to talk, you announced the things that I was going to mention. Yeah. From the candidate forum to the International Streets Festival downtown, which then reminded me that today our Ruby concert series was announced online, which I'm very excited for a lot of those bands. The Citizens Academy that starts in a week on April 10th. The First Ward Neighborhood Association Yard Sale on June 14th, which coincides with the Pride Festival. Is that the right term?
Block party.
Block party.
2 for 1.
Yes, so people will buy our community treasures and then go down and celebrate and continue the celebration. Last couple things was there is a public meeting for the pedestrian bridge on April 3rd in the train depot from 5 to 7:30. I know that my neighbors were vested in that and hearing about that. And the Citizens Academy, I don't even know. I think that's all I got now. Yeah, the rest of it you all covered. So on that note, and it's only 8:22.
Adjourn.
Second.
That's it.